Brock Lesnar against Cody Rhodes is second from the top, and big entrances for both men. And Rhodes has his cast on the left arm, which Michael Cole, obviously this man has been just hate scrolling, got off on these critics who have been noting that Cody is right-handed and his left arm is broken, and Cole explaining that still is a big handicap that he's dealing with. And we also got Dr. Cole here alluding to Cody wearing a titanium Exos cast.
Titanium Exocast, yeah. I thought Cole did a great job here, okay? Like, he was the one to do the heavy lifting and trying to, convey just how severe this injury is. And he really, gave us some science here, talking about distal radius fracture in the forearm area. Really just kind of like immersing us into trying to believe in this.
I actually thought that Michael Cole calling Cody Rhodes was a great compliment for, like, every big baby face. They've got that lead announcer that is sort of, just brings it to another level. And I thought Cole was excellent, to the point that, to me, it somewhat does emphasize that Kevin Patrick is not that guy. That Michael Cole is not calling this guy's matches on a weekly basis.
Well, Cole wasn't this guy, 3 years into his run either, right? It's taken like 20 something years for Cole to get this good. So maybe Patrick will get there eventually.
We will see. Rhodes evades at the beginning and rolls to the floor, and he's actually running away as Brock chases him and lures him into the ring, but then gets thrown around with belly to bellies, and he's like landing on the arm as he's taking these suplexes. Rhodes then starts using the cast as a weapon with the titanium inside of it, and he drills Lesnar, sending him to the floor.
Now, can you explain to me, John, why when he lands on his arm, it hurts like hell, but when he uses it to bash his opponent over the head, it only hurts the opponent?
He's controlling the weight distribution when he's throwing it, but in the suplex, he has no control over his landing, and he's posting on the arm.
Got it. Okay, maybe he's got some sort of control of his distal area.
Yeah, I mean, he's the code man. He's got the distribution in his veins. He hits a Cody cutter for a 2 count, and then the crossroads, but he hurts his arm while hitting it, then hits a second crossroads, and Cole is remarking on Rhodes' tolerance for pain. He goes for a third one, but it's stopped as Big Bad Brock applies the Kimura, and Graves is screaming for the referee to stop the match. Cody won't quit, and he tries to make the cover from the Kimura position just like he won at Backlash. Doesn't work this time. Then Brock goes to a mounted Kimura. Great selling here by Cody. At one point, he is digging his fingernails into the back of Brock Lesnar, and his arm is raised. How often do we get the arm raised spot in 2023? And the arm stays up for a big pop. Cole says there's no way out for Cody as the audience cheers him on, and he reaches the rope for this loud reaction from the crowd. And I mean, they really sold this for all it was worth. And I thought these two were they just had a great rhythm going. And I think that whoever came up with the arm idea, I think certainly deserves a lot of credit. It added so much to the story of this match. The F5 is countered, and Cody hits another crossroads, more shots from the cast, and then powers onto the shoulders. Brock powers him up onto his shoulders and hits an F5, but Cody kicks out. He goes back to the Kimura, and this time Cody goes out when the arm is lifted and it drops. 9 minutes, 38 seconds. Brock wins, and he won't release the hold as Cole and Graves are screaming for the referee to do something. Cole says Cody never tapped. He passed out, and that's one of the gutsiest performances I've ever seen. Graves says maybe Cody should have tapped sooner. He could have irreparable damage from his guts taking over his brains. I thought this match was great.
Mm-hmm. A really great classic old school professional wrestling match. I think like you watch a match like this and you have to think like, is Cody the best in-ring storyteller in this company? Like Seth Rollins is a spectacular wrestler. But I don't necessarily qualify like his version of wrestling as like storytelling, not in this way. Roman is a great sort of like cinematic, a guy who like can create these sort of like talking scenes within a match, as we'll discuss later on in the main event. But for like old school pure pro wrestling storytelling, I mean, I think Cody is one of the best examples of it today, maybe completely within this company. It makes him such a perfect fit for Paul Levesque's WWE, more so than AEW, because I feel like while he was in AEW, he probably felt a lot of pressure to deliver more spectacle, you know, and doing like crazy stunts and I don't know, letting himself on fire. And he'd never be able to compete against like a John Moxley or like a Kenny Omega for that style of wrestling.
But he's like a Southern wrestling babyface here
in
WWE that uses all the little like tricks of the trade and just basic stuff that has genuine like sympathy elicited from your audience.
Yeah, he's really in his perfect form right now in this main event. And I think it's perfect for somebody like a Paul Levesque, who I think is very much like that, who very much admires that style of wrestling as well. So, you know, like through that style, he was able to take up Brock Lesnar and create a really compelling story out of it. I mean, how long was this match?
Under 10.
Under 10. Okay. But it was not like spamming finishers, you know, like it made Brock into a different type of wrestler than he usually is. So,
no.
Yeah.
And they went, if you got like your big sequence of crossroads and F5s, but this was ultimately like the arm and the Kimura. That was the key. And I thought that this, number one, if you are planning coming out of this, it would make sense that Cody is going to be at least maybe not off TV, but not wrestling for a couple of weeks. And whether you bring him back at Money in the Bank or even longer, like we'll see what they do with this arm, this broken arm angle and what it leads to. And we'll figure that out on Monday. But there's, as we mentioned in the preview, there's obviously a third match in these two now that they're even, but in the interim, does Brock take a match with Seth for a big match at Money in the Bank and you come back to this at SummerSlam or the next Saudi Arabia show or somewhere later this year? It's certainly another detour for Cody. And to me, this whole summer and fall is about detours for Cody to keep him away from the championship.
Same with Roman Reigns, right? You know, how can we delay both Roman and Cody from meeting each other for an entire year? And with Roman, it's putting him into this tag team program with the Usos, and with Cody right now, his detour is Brock Lesnar. And you know what? It's this detour is proving to be pretty good. Hey, like I might stay here for a while. You know, like there's a lot of things to do here. So I love the idea of Brock versus Rollins. You know, as a Money in the Bank main event, maybe even a SummerSlam main event. Honestly, that has a lot of potential. And Cody, of course, can interrupt, and you build to that rematch that way as well. Do you still like the Hell in a Cell idea for Brock and Cody 3?
Yeah, I do. I think with both of them, it's a match that has, like, as I said, I feel Cody doing another Hell in a Cell after last year's one, it means something. And this feud has like earned the ability that it makes it feels like worthy of doing a big stipulation match at the end of this. Unless they want to do like, based on this finish, like an I Quit match. With Seth, with Cody passing out.
How about a flaming tables match?
I'm going to talk a bit about Under Siege at the end of this.
Oh, okay. I was more so referring to Cody's last.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Under Siege. Okay, I do want to talk about that. It was quite an angle.
Brock Lesnar in a flaming table match. I'm sure
Cody would be fine with that.